1984, became aware of the ministry. We hosted a multimedia presentation that Life Action did back then. It was called Bring Back the Glory. Got on their mailing list and never got off. And then sometime later, probably 15 years later, became aware of a real need in my congregation. Said, I need a revival ministry to help me with this. And the one the Lord brought to mind was Life Action. My life's been changed ever since. It's preaching, it's music, it's children's ministries, it's youth ministries, it's prayer, it's testimonies. They bring all the workers for those things. And so the church, they get to all participate. So nobody's excluded. Everybody's in the same room, having the same experience with the same God. It creates a culture of authenticity and emphasize honesty and humility, confession of sin, compassion toward other people, and extension of mercy toward others, and the receiving and giving of forgiveness. And all those things are brought to the surface, and they're the only things that really matter. And your church begins to grapple with that. But the reality is, God would just show up. And that's what happens in a Life Action event. As a leader, you get caught up in the machinery of church. We spend a lot of energy and emotion in helping to get our programming to be successful, to run well, and shutting it all down for a few days is frightening and intimidating, and frankly, unlike anything else we ever do. The fears of not keeping your programming going are totally unfounded. And in fact, it's necessary for our people to be still and hear from God. I have story after story in my mind of people who can testify to that again and again and again in their lives, that God did something in this event. And years later, they go back to that as a benchmark in their life. And they say, in that moment, God made me different.
This week I was called out in how much anger I was holding towards people. Going to people and being real with them, it restored one of my really good friendships that was falling apart. I just wanted to give God the glory for that one.
The thing that spoke louder to me than anything else was to not let my knowledge get ahead of my obedience. I know a lot, but I haven't obeyed a lot. And I've been very intentional this week to stop and ask the Lord what He wants me to obey today.
About 2 weeks ago, I lost my mom to complications from COVID. And I'll admit, I've been bitter. When y'all sang, "When Peace Like a River," I sat and I just sobbed. I did not have that peace. So it's driven me to my knees to seek God and say, God, give me peace with losing Mom like I did.
I was feeling very alone and very worried and stressed out before this week came, and I wasn't even completely planning to come to Life Action. God just started showing me like this peace, this satisfaction, this hope that all needs to be found in Him, and that I knew that, but I wasn't truly living as such, and I wasn't believing that.
The people that I know who are a part of Life Action, they are men and women of profound integrity. They are just seeking to honor Christ, and they do so in a way that stands out. It would be a great thing for your name, your church, to be included on that list of folks who have said, I'm gonna take a chance that this is gonna be a righteous thing in my life, my church's life. Don't be afraid, because thousands of churches over the more than 50 years of this ministry have said yes to that decision and have not been disappointed. I'm very confident that God will bless and will do something profound for you personally as well as for your church.